Recently, I was able to witness the fights of 3 great warriors. His powers were completely absurd. I had never seen anything like it.
What it do? It's your boy, Dragon Ball Art 92, and I'm back with another Kamehameha reaction video. But before we get to the content, if you guys can you go over there to Facebook and check me out under Black Ink, where I share artwork and other relatable Dragon Ball content. Also, you guys, if you're over there on TikTok, you guys can also check me out on TikTok under Dragon Ball Art 92. Also, I want to give a huge shout out to everybody in the anime community, everybody that contributes to the creativity that goes on in the anime community. I want to give you a huge shout out because you guys have been a big inspiration in my life. When I get into the anime content and I do things like this, it helped me escape the pressures of daily life, and for that, I am grateful. Also, I want to send my love out there, man, to the people in California that's going through the tragedy right now with all the fire, man. I want to give y'all a shout out. I'm actually from Cali, so I really hope and pray that people are doing well out there, Also, I got a few things. I want to start 2 different shows on my channel. One of the shows is going to be directly based on the community and fan artwork. So if you do Dragon Ball artwork and things like that, I want to dedicate a show to you because I also draw and do artwork and I'm working to get better. So I want to just kind of highlight all the great artists out there that's doing great things. So I'm going to put together a show to where we can do that, make it live, make it fun. You dig? Also, I want to do a show on my channel called Finish Him, where I strictly talk about Dragon Ball fights, from Dragon Ball all the way up to Dragon Ball Super. And it doesn't matter if it's a manga or an anime fight, So I'm working on those things right now, and I'm trying to get those things in the making. And I hope and pray that this is something that you guys will love and enjoy as well as I do. So for today's video, we're going to be actually doing a reaction video to Ultra Vegito again. And this episode is called Ultra Vegito Finds Everyone Dead. Sinister title, bro. Sinister title. For real, for real. But before we get started on the content, make sure you hit the like button to trigger YouTube algorithm, so that way we can be seen by a bigger audience. And make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, so that way you don't miss none of the videos that I upload, and become a part of that Dragon Ball art family. You dig? So now, let's get to the content. Let's go.
Part of this color manga is available right now on my new Patreon to watch straight after this episode. This has been a hugely requested edition, but now you can finally see Ultra Vegito the way it was meant to. Every scene colored perfect to anime standards, just how I imagined it when I first drew it. So join now and be the first to see every episode from just $3, with more and more access at higher tiers. Link is in the description below and pinned comment. Enjoy. So our story continues with Vegito helpless and imprisoned. He's still chained up like some animal instead of the fearsome Saiyan warrior he truly is. It has been a long and fraught 10 years of being bound and kept here defenseless and entirely alone. His arms and legs both limp, having been chained up now for a decade. A time that has felt to Vegito like many lifetimes over. Shockingly, we are then treated to our first glimpse of Vegito's face. He now sports a full...
Even after 10 years of him not doing a damn thing. This nigga still buff as shit, bro. For real.
An unkempt beard that has grown unchecked during his years of exile. His body is but a shadow of what it once was. His defined muscles and impressive torso now replaced with a form that has now withered away and is skinny and frail. His clothes are in tatters, torn and worn at the seams, for they were not made to withstand such wear and tear. It is not just Vegito.
He got that Wolverine look going on. Hey, don't he look like Wolverine a little bit, y'all? You know I ain't lying.
Vegito's body that is diminished, but his soul too, and it's evident in his facial expression. He wears the face of a man who is beaten, broken, and pushed further than their limits can withstand. As we zoom out and see the true sunken state of our once hero, it is odd to realize that even after all this time, despite it being many, many years, Vegeta and Goku are still fused together in the form of Vegito. It is as if the room or the chains themselves simply won't allow them to break apart. They are bound together for eternity, it seems, just as their imprisonment dictates. In this time alone, with nothing to do and no one to talk to, Vegito has well and truly been broken, existing only as a silent mess, made up of Goku and Vegeta, who they two have become shells of their former selves. Vegeta, in his side of Vegito's consciousness, can only mutter, "Bulma," while Goku can only whisper, "Chi-Chi." But every so often, a sign of life, if you can call it that, shows itself.
That's one hell of a torture, bro. It don't even seem like the boy can die, bro. I wonder if they even feeding this man. Like, how is he still surviving, bro? Do they even give him water? Bro, that's crazy work, bro.
In the form of PTSD, as tears suddenly and randomly appear in the eyes of the great Saiyan. After all, could you ever imagine the pain gone through to have been at the top of the world to now be at the very bottom, trapped forever due to an event which was no more than a mistake? It's in these brief moments that Vegito mutters, "Beerus." But suddenly, for the first time in years, before him, a small dot of light begins to appear. It starts off small and then gradually begins to grow and grow, reaching the size of a large portal. Vegito doesn't know if this is real or his mind is simply breaking down further, causing him to hallucinate. Is this real? This warmth, it feels familiar. Thinking to himself as though a voice from somewhere would come and answer him. From the portal though, indeed a familiar set of feet step forward, gently as if attempting to arrive in secrecy. Vegito raises his head slowly, trying to get a better view of who it could be. He's seen those feet before, but he can't for the life of him remember where. His memory just isn't what it once was. But before we know it, Vegito is now wide-eyed, his face beginning to contort with confusion and shock. He cannot believe who he is seeing. Who is it? He cries out, but his words are greeted with silence. The person comes closer and closer, and the look of realization then dawns on Vegito's face. No, it can't be! Please! You!
Bro, ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way. The last thing Whis told him was, what was that comment he said? Wait for your just reward or something like that. That was a cold piece of work, cold line he gave Vegito. Now he popped up after 10 years of him being in prison. What the hell is Whis plotting?
And standing there, looking as elaborate as ever, is in fact the Angel of Universe 7, Whis. who silently stands there, not uttering a word. It's not even clear just yet if he's arrived as a friend or foe. Regardless though, Vegito cannot contain his emotion. He yells out after years in silence, "Whis! Is that really you? Surely my eyes do deceive me. Cannot be you. Why? Why now? After all this time, after everything I've been through, where were you?" Vegito is screaming with intensity now. Rivers of tears are running down his face. The emotional trauma of being left to perish like this breaking through. It's clear just how much sorrow and pain the Saint has been left to endure through all these years. Only one can imagine what that must truly have felt like. So much so, even Whis looks on at him with a sorrowful face, and choosing his words carefully, he finally speaks and says, "I know that my words are probably the last thing you need right now, Vegito-san. I see that the years have not been good to you. You have gone through a world of pain I cannot imagine, and for that, I am truly sorry. I am." For a moment, Vegito waits as if Whis has more to say, but that's it. Whis continues to look at him as if those words would be enough to heal his broken soul.
Your father knows about saving money. Everything I'm wearing, I've had since boot camp.
And in return, Vegito is all fury. He lashes at the chains binding him, his eyes brimming with wrath. He thrusts a chained fist forward as if he may be able to reach Whis, but it's no use. He's bound like a dog.
You can't really blame Vegito for being pissed off, bruh, and for trying to attack Whis, because it seemed like Whis did him shady. I mean, but I can understand because Whis can't really take sides in the whole matter. I get that. But at the same time, Whis know that what they were doing was out of line. They were out of line for that, and they know it, bruh.
He opts instead to attack with his words, shouting, "That's all you have to say? Those few pointless words? After 10 years of me wrongfully being trapped here? What good is your sorry? Will it give me back my life? You knew I didn't deserve this. Beerus wanted to spar us, not the other way around. I would never kill him on purpose, and yet you said nothing. You let them take me and destroy me like this. How can you even look at yourself in the mirror?" But Whis then begins to quietly walk towards Vegito, and slowly places a calming hand on Vegito's shoulder. Vegito doesn't expect this. He doesn't know what to do. But then again, what can he do? Whis begins to talk, his voice calm and soothing as he replies, "I know, Vegito-san. I know. You think that I don't care? That I haven't been trying to right this wrong? That's simply not true. For the last 10 years, I've tried over and over again to plead your case with my father, the Grand Priest. But it has been to no avail. There is only so much a son can do to make his father listen. You know."
So, in all actuality, bro, the Grand Priest never did like Goku and Vegeta. Let's keep it 100, bro. He must have been waiting for them to do something so he can do this, bro. Because if Whis kept trying to explain the situation, and for them not to even go back and revisit and see the situation, because angels have that type of ability, or if they did or didn't, he actually had a bias, bro. Let's keep it 100. He didn't like him, bro. So he wasn't even going to allow the opportunity of let's relook at the situation to even occur, bro. Let's keep it real.
I have no audience with Zeno. Therefore, my father was my only way in. But you must also know, by angelic law, there is no excuse for the complete destruction of a god. You see, Vegito, you did not just kill Beerus by your mistake. In reality, in your ultra ego and ultra instinct fused form, your destruction energy from Vegeta's side led to his complete erasure. That is why I gave you no recourse to revive him. Once a god of destruction passes...
Okay. Well, that makes a little more sense then. because he actually totally erased Beerus. So there was no wishing him back. There was no redoing the situation that happened. That's why all the gods of destruction were pissed. Now I'm starting to get it, but it still was a complete accident the way things occurred. It was a freaking nature accident, bruh. But yeah, let's get back to it.
By law, I must remain inactive until a new one is appointed. My powers ceased there and then.
Continuing on, Whis says,
But I promise you, I didn't give up. I continued looking for a way to free you. That's when I thought of the Super Dragon Balls. They were the only option available. As far as anybody knows, they are the only Dragon Balls powerful enough to revive one that has been erased. But that would prove a lot harder than imagined, as they are scattered all through both Universe 6 and 7. It took Jumper a millennia just to find his initial 6, and even then, that was with the unlawful snooping within our own universe. Something no angel can do. And besides, those balls were never meant to be used so casually like your Earth Dragon Balls. The Dragon God Zalama would simply forbid it. Once every 1,000 years is what he orders, since it is with his own power that the dragon draws its ability from.
Vegito, hearing this, then bows his head, his neck muscles unable to hold any longer. He's heard enough. Nothing Whis is saying will get him out of here. He coughs up blood. His body, even now, still failing him. Before then suddenly looking at Whis again, his face filled with anger once more as he questions,
But why? Why didn't you do anything before Beerus died? It didn't have to be like this at all. I know for a fact you could have foreseen what was happening. You know Beerus better than anyone else. You could have saved him. You could have reversed time and stopped it before he was erased. But instead, you allowed it to happen. You watched on. You even watched on as I was nearly destroyed.
Another commercial.
but Whis simply responds,
Vegito-san, you're not thinking clearly. If I could have done that, don't you think I would have? Don't you think I would have intervened? Your simple mortal ideals are not the same as what is actually capable under angel law and the powers that be. There are rules in place, rules that must be abided.
So if them rules was not in place, you're basically saying, Weez, that you guys have the power and the abilities to do any and everything, period. Interesting. Quite interesting.
By no matter what the situation or context. For one, an angel only exists to serve as an attendant to the god of destruction. This is our divine purpose, what we were born into existence to do. We cannot and do not ever act under our own will or needs. To do so would result in our own erasure from any and all timelines. It is certain death. The only times I have shown you such a technique, Beerus would have been right next to me to give me the go-ahead. I acted upon his say-so, not just because I felt like it. The only other exception to the rule is if my own god of destruction makes a mistake that would harm the universe he and the Supreme Kai reside over. This is the one and only time that I may step in and correct this flaw and undo what has been done. I know this must be hard to hear, Vegito-san, but your destruction of Beerus, I'm afraid, fell into neither category. And even if it did, I don't think you understand the power you have, Vegito-san. Not even I could have reacted fast enough to stop your attack at that moment. And once he was destroyed, as I said, my powers ceased.
That shows that Vegeta was actually putting in that work at that time. If not even Whis could detect or even stop that blast before it happened, then at that time, Vegeta was really getting it in. And Beerus is pretty strong too. That means Beerus can actually keep up with Whis at that time too, if what he's saying is accurate.
regardless. Tears then once again begin to stream down Vegito's face again, as he realizes this is it. This is his life now. There is no hope for Beerus or himself. He has been doomed to live out a life in chains. Vegito asks one final time, "So, there's really nothing I can do? There's no way for me to escape this hell, this life of torture? Even death would be better than this. Why even come? Just to take away the last bit of hope I had?" But even in a dark situation like this, the slightest glimmer of light from Goku and Vegeta appears, as a smirk comes to Vegito's face and a memory begins to surface. Even while crying, even while in this dire situation that he's in, he still tries to bring some bleak humor, saying, "Don't tell me you've come all this way just to ask me to be the next god of destruction again, because honestly, after everything I've been through, I have to say, I might just consider it this time." But I'm thinking it would be as Vegito, because I'm guessing these angel-grade Potara of yours aren't going to defuse us anytime soon at this point, are they, Whis? And in response, Whis just looks at him with a small smile and says, I see that even after all these years alone, in this god-forsaken place, your humor hasn't left you. It's good to see that smile again. But yes, perhaps if you had defeated Beerus under official conditions in a proper bout as a God of Destruction candidate like Toppo was, then your ascension to God of Destruction could have rightfully followed. But to prove yourself stronger outside of those conditions, I'm sorry, but it means nothing to Father or Zeno. And murder outside of it only means treachery and punishment. As we know from your old friend Jiren, despite being proven to be stronger than Belmod in a bout of his own, he will never become the next God of Destruction of Universe 11, simply because he too refused to become a God of Destruction candidate just as Vegeta did. These are the hard lines that cannot be crossed, Vegito-san.
So it's interesting because what perks do a fighter actually have when it comes to becoming a god of destruction? If you can become stronger than a god of destruction, what perks really are there to becoming a god of destruction? That'd be my question. Unless it's for beings that can't get that strong, then I can understand, because then they have the opportunity to experience a power level that they never experienced before. So, but otherwise than that, I understand why Jiren and Goku and Vegeta turned down the opportunity of becoming the potential future god of destruction.
Laws we must obey. Vegito, for a moment, realizes the truth in his words, saying, "Got it, like Jiren."
Elevate your passion for health and
Another
fitness
commercial.
with a certificate in sports performance
Well, you
from
probably
Cleveland
would
University,
commercial.
Kansas.
Continuing his explanation, Whis says, "But to answer your question in regards to your fusion, you're correct. When I gave these earrings to you both, I told you that these would last at least one day. And that is because Angel Grade Potara did. These are the hard lines that cannot be crossed, Vegito-san. Laws we must obey."
Must have been some type of glitch.
Vegito,
y'all.
for a moment, realizes the truth in his words,
Forgive the glitch. That wasn't me, but we go ahead and continue.
saying, "Got it, like Jiren." Continuing his explanation, Whis says, "But to answer your question in regards to your fusion, you're correct. When I gave these earrings to you both, I told you that these would last at least one day. And that is because Angel Grade Potara can last forever if need be. Though it is up to you, the wearer. If you decide to take them off, you will find that you will return to your individual states, back to Vegeta and Goku as separate entities. But I guess for the last 10 years, you haven't exactly had the luxury of doing that or anything else for that matter. Vegito, in response, looks down forlorn once again, muttering, I see. I guess thank you for the information. As meaningless as it is while I'm locked up like this. But one thing I still don't understand, Whis, is you've come all this way to tell me about angel laws, why I cannot become a god of destruction, and even to tell me I'm stuck as Vegito too. Yet the question still remains, why exactly are you here? What is it that you need from me? Look at how late you've left this. All I've wanted to do all this time is just go back and see my family, to go back to Earth, to continue my life as it once was. But from your words, it seems that hope is now dead and gone forever. Whis, now with a serious face, responds, I know that I cannot fix what has been done to you, Vegito-san, nor can I truly empathize with the pain and suffering you must have gone through being locked away here for all these years. But hopefully, my next words will be of great comfort to you, Vegito. I have come to free you.
What? Quite interesting. What a twist in fate. So something must have happened to push Whis to want to break the angel laws like this and even sacrifice his own life to free Vegito. I don't think it's just to help Vegito, bro. I don't think that Whis would sacrifice his own existence just to free Vegito. Something else must be behind this.
Vegito's face immediately lights up in shock. He cannot contain the emotions coursing through his veins. He doesn't know whether to be happy or scared. He continues, Wait! What are you saying, Whis? What do you mean you've come to free me? How are you going to do that? And why now? After all this time? Whis then turns his back to the Saiyan, and with a smile and sweat beating down to his face, then explains, I don't want to keep you any longer, but of course, I know that you desire an explanation. The truth is, Vegito-san, I feel as though my time as an angel has finally come to a close. Though my powers have returned after a new god of destruction has been appointed, it pains me to admit that the gods of destruction have changed since Beerus's death, and not for the better. It is hard to explain 10 years of events, but I've never seen them behave in such a way or even think the way they currently do. After disposing of you, the gods have since become cocky and arrogant in the most ungodlike of ways. It's as if they now know they are simply untouchable. For you, Vegito-san, were the ultimate example to be made of. You were the strongest mortal in the multiverse, the strongest mortal that ever lived, and now they had imprisoned you forever for destroying one of them. I was barely keeping it together. I was at the end of my line, but still, I decided to keep going. It was not my place. I'm just an angel. However, it was after their most recent act, where they destroyed something very dear to me, that I knew as soon as a new god of destruction was appointed and my powers were back.
They destroyed something that was close to Whis' heart. I wonder what that is, bro. What could that possibly be? I know what it is. It was the Earth, bruh. You got to remember, Whis was in love with the food. And he wasn't playing about his food, bruh.
I would arrive here. I knew then that something had to be done about this, and that something is this. I stand here before you, knowing that my final act before disappearing will be to save you, Vegito-san, to finally undo what has been done, but this time, not by time reversal. A shocked Vegito is distraught, unable to accept the words he is hearing. He says, What? Disappearing? To where? I don't understand any of this. What exactly are you saying, Whis? Whis then smiles softly again at Vegito, and then puts his arm out in front of him, almost as if ready to blast or attack him, saying emotionally instead, "Vegito-san, I know that this isn't enough, but I beg of you to please accept these last words of mine. I'm sorry for what you have gone through, and still going through. I'm sorry for what my father and Zeno and the other 11 gods have allowed to transpire. The evils they have inflicted on you, and the horrors they forced a hero such as yourself to face, I know that it is wrong. I am but a mere angel, and to meddle with mortal affairs and to go against the decision of my superiors is one that will be met with erasure. But I have watched Universe 7 for a millennia, and in that time, I know what is ultimately best for it. There is nobody who knows this universe better than I, and it is time for me to take a stand, to do what is right, instead of just following orders as I have always done. It is time for me to say goodbye, my friend." And with that, we see.
So if you really sit and think about it, right, that was Whis' first time that he actually thought for himself. You heard him say it, man. He used to follow, lead with a blind eye, just did whatever he was told, slave type of mind. And now he's actually thinking for himself and doing what he feel is right. Very interesting.
Yells, "Release!" And just like that, a force from Whis is thrust upon the chains, snapping them open and breaking them up into pieces instantly. Vegito has been released after 10 years and yells, What? I'm free!" Not used to standing up on his own, he immediately falls weakly to his knees as the rest of the shackles clamber on the ground, trying to regather the strength he once had, but he coughs up blood once again, his body straining under its own weight. "My body, it feels different." Still on his knees, Vegito then strains his heavy head to look up and suddenly yells, "Whis!" He screams, a lump in his throat from emotion. He knows something is happening, something bad. But Whis says nothing. He simply smiles and stares at his mortal friend, Vegito, as he begins to slowly erase to nothing his existence.
That right there is a redeem for Whis. Whis was a real one. He was a real one, bro. And you got to give him his flowers for that. You know what I'm saying? He risked his own life to free his friend, even if it was over the food.
Being wiped out for eternity, just as he had foreshadowed earlier. Vegito, even with no strength, finds something deep inside to throw out a hand and naively grab him. But as he tries to grab Whis, his hand is met with nothing but thin air. Whis has gone, disappeared into the nothingness that is erasure. "No! Whis!" Vegito yells, but his words cannot follow wherever Whis has gone, and are ultimately met with pure silence. He falls to the ground, wrecked with emotion, struggling to accept what is happening. He starts slamming the floor in anger, tears running down his face and splashing onto the floor, creating a puddle. But suddenly, something piques his interest. There's something else in the room with him. At the corner of his eye, he notices that Whis' staff has been left behind by the angel. Slowly, mustering his strength and moving cautiously as if not to tempt fate, Vegito struggles to his feet and makes his way over to the staff. Instantly, he grabs it, like it was made for him, only whispering, "Whis, what did you..." But now, moving the staff around, full of hope and energy, he looks at it with a smirk, saying, "I guess this was your last gift to me, Whis. I cannot thank you enough. Maybe, Just maybe with this, I'll be able to travel to the other universes and to Zeno to try and sort this mess out. Is that what you wanted, Whis?
Quite interesting, right? And the only reason why I'm saying this is because only angels are able to use those staffs. Whatever Whis did to allow Vegito access to use that staff like that, I'm wondering how, bro. The only way that I can really think he can do something like that is by infusing some of his own energy into those earrings that Vegeta got on, which I'm pretty sure he did. But to the point to where he can actually utilize Angel's tools is what I'm gonna call it. Interesting, bro.
Maybe this is how I bring you and Beerus back somehow. But for now, there's only one thing I have to do for my own sake, Whis. And that is go back to Earth to see my family, my friends, my home. But first, I can't let anyone see me like this. Maybe Bulma would like it, but for Chi-Chi, this is a big no-no. I gotta get rid of this damn beard. Vegeta then summons an energy sword from his hand, and in one precise swoop, the beard falls to the floor in tatters. Now clean-shaven and looking more like the Vegito we know, Vegito stands tall, almost a new man with the staff, and calls forth, "Take me to Earth now!" And surprisingly, as if the staff knew Vegito always as its wielder, then shoots off, taking him with her. But Vegito soon arrives in a blank and empty space. He looks around, not sure what this means or even why he's here. There's literally nothing here but empty darkness. Definitely no sign of Earth. This doesn't make sense at all. What the hell happened here? Did the staff take me to the wrong place or something? It couldn't be. Vegito then places his fingers on his head, thinking, I'm not sure what's going on here, but no matter anyway. I'll just use instant transmission and lock onto someone on Earth. Let's see who I can find. He closes his eyes and concentrates. No way! But as he tries his best, he still can't seem to find anyone. Vegito starts to panic now. He opens his eyes and says, What? No! That's impossible! I can't sense Earth anymore or anyone on it anywhere! How could that be? This is where it should be! Following this, he immediately looks to his right and points to the moon saying, There it is! Earth's moon! Kami restored that long ago after Piccolo destroyed it. I'll never forget that, where it's supposed to be. Trying to rationalize things, Vegito then places his fingers on his head again and tries to go somewhere, to lock on to someone, but again, nothing happens.
So Vegito don't realize that the Earth is gone. And I think it's kind of hard for him to take that in because he wouldn't think that they'd just go after the Earth, all them innocent people, all them innocent souls. But that's exactly what Whis was talking about, man. That food is gone. But no, the real tip though, bro, this is what pretty much is going to push him to go past his past limits. So he's going to go higher than his past limits. Better way to explain it.
Vegito grunts. You're kidding me. Even New Namek has gone. What is happening? Who could have done this? Surely this is some kind of trick. A game someone is playing. Wait a minute. Suddenly, Vegito's face goes extremely shocked and wide-eyed as he has a flashback to one of Whis' last words. Words that rang. They destroyed something very dear to me. The pain is almost too much for Vegito to bear. He grimaces in agony
as he realizes what Whis was talking about.
No, they didn't. Did they? Even Nunamic?
As rage begins to build, he continues,
Those damn gods! They imprisoned me for all this time! Erased my family and friends! Made Whis erase himself! And removed our only hope of bringing anyone back! Why? Why?
Vegito immediately grabs onto his head, trying to restrain the beastly fury that is finding itself out. The heartache is too much, the grief begins to consume him, and his primal sane rage overflows. Now completely powered up, his muscles bulge to a point that even surpassed how he was a decade ago, his eyebrows gone, and surrounded in a majestic aura, Ultra Vegito screams so loud the entire universe hears. And with a crazed, almost insane look on his face, he proclaims,
I'll kill them! I'll kill them all! No god will be safe from this day forth!
And with those final words ringing throughout the multiverse, Ultra Vegito, the God Killer, has finally been born. But
Well, man, that was the end of the video today. Quite interesting, though, if you ask me, to be honest with you. I never expected for the Gods of Destruction to actually go after Nunamic. Very, very wise chess moves for them. You know, I mean, to be totally honest. And Vegeta was just totally pissed. I mean, because that caught him out the blue. He thought that they were only going to try to punish him for the things that happened, not go after his friends and family members. But that's where I'm going to end the video today, you guys. First of all, I want to say I appreciate everybody for coming by and checking me out, man. I really appreciate the love and support, all the comments and the things that you guys, leave for your boy. I love having conversations with you guys. Hopefully we can keep that going, build a bigger family. We're on our way to 1,000 subscribers, you guys, So I want to give a shout out to all the Dragon Ball Art family members, man, out there. I see you. Shout out to the new family members, man, who subscribed recently, man. Shout out to you guys, man. And we will become great. Tell yourself that every day, man, because you are great. And always remember to believe in yourself, because ain't nobody else go do it. Dragon Ball Art 92, I'm out. Peace!
Recently, I was able to witness the fights of 3 great warriors. His powers were completely absurd. I had never seen anything like it.